Welcome to the 11th session of the Archetypical Mind Study Group. Today we're going to talk about potentiator of the body. And we're going to start with the prayer of light.
Love before me, love behind me, love at my left, love at my right, love above me, love below me, love in me, love in my surroundings, love to all, love to the universe. Peace before me, peace behind me, peace at my left, peace at my right, peace above me, peace below me, peace in me, peace in my surroundings, peace to all, peace to the universe. Light before me, light behind me, light at my left, light at my right, light above me, light below me, light in me, light in my surroundings, light to all, light to the universe.
Viva abajo, al centro, al centro, al dentro.
We thank the one infinite creator for this opportunity to serve, to know ourselves, to accept ourselves, and to become the creator. Let our hearts be filled with gratitude to those of Ra for bringing us the archetypes as the tool for this inner work, and those of Quo for extending our knowledge of these tools. We extend our gratitude to the channeling team at LL Research for bringing us this knowledge. We invite Quo to join us in this working. We also invite our guides, our higher selves, and the ascended masters to grace us with your presence and to show us what we need to know. May all beings find what they truly seek. Amen.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
So today's quotes, I only have probably 3 in them because all the quotes I could find that I knew how to search were where the potentiator of the body was explicitly mentioned. And most of the quotes have been collected by Andi. And I had a conversation with Andi during the weekend as to, because I am so new to the archetypes and I haven't delved into them before, it was really hard for me to understand what is the criteria to search for quotes that will match the potentiator of the body. So I wanted before the discussion, because I think maybe if I was having problems with it, maybe somebody else might have, and this could be helpful if Andi could share a little bit about the way she searches for those quotes.
Yeah, so for me, the potentiator, if we go back to the analogy, is about the driver that regulates the body, and there's different levels of driver. So for instance, it's what holds the knowledge of how the machine works, the biological machine. And there's different levels. So on one level, we are drivers of the body in that, we know how to hold a pen, we know how to walk, for instance. But then there's other levels of the driver that like makes our hearts pump, that regulates breath. So to engage with this driver, we need to basically go into the silence and become the sage to connect with the pure sages that are sort of doing the driving of this vehicle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also I also want to add, like don't believe everything I say because it, like even I don't believe everything I'm saying and I'm the one saying it, like just go within yourself and see if it's true and ask for wisdom. And yeah.
So let me see if I can sum up or reflect back what I heard. Um, the potentiator or the sage is the one that has the knowledge or the will to manipulate the physical vehicle. So you can think of people who are doing yogis who are doing meditation for a long time, they are actually able to control their heart rhythm, their breathing, their blood pressure, but also people who decide to become a bodybuilder. That's another way to control the physical vehicle. Or if you want to go on a diet, or if you feel that a fast would be good, for your spiritual advancement, that's another way to look at the potentiator. Is that correct?
Yes, it's about discipline and focus, and moving into the silence that comes with intense, deep focus.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Andy about this? Going once, going twice. Okay,
It's
gone.
very interesting. So, do you know how did it came about to relate the potentiator with the figure of the wise?
Um, I think it's because the in within the silence, all that is unknown becomes known, but it's a non-verbal knowing that is very difficult to articulate. And in articulating it, the meaning gets lost. So I think the best way to know how it become how the potentiator is represented by the sage is to embody the sage and to keep going into the meditation and becoming the sage, and then it will make sense. And the quotes might make it a bit clearer if that doesn't work, just meditate. Sorry, that's the best I can do.
No, 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 but I agree. I was just wondering, like, how did it came about? Like, when was the first connection between the potentiator and the wise came? But I fully agree. I asked to see it in a dream, and and it sort of show up like this. But yeah, I agree. I was just curious.
Oh, I'd love to hear about your dream later when in the discussion, Guillermo.
Yes, yes, I would love that too. I think Ra has mentioned the connection between wisdom and the potentiator of the body. I think it's in one of the quotes that we're going to go into.
Yeah.
Anybody else wants to say something? Okay. All right. So we're going to start with a quote. Ra. In the body, the matrix may be seen as balanced, working, or even functioning. Note that here the matrix is always active, with no means of being inactive. The potentiator of the body complex, then, may be called wisdom, for it is only through judgment that the unceasing activities and proclivities of the body complex may be experienced in useful modes.
The matrix of the body may be seen to be a reflection in opposites of the mind, that is, unrestricted motion. The potentiator of the body, then, is that which, being informed, regulates activity.
Turning then to my analogy, or shall we say example, of the newborn infant with the undistorted matrix, this newborn infant has its subconscious veiled from the matrix. The second archetype, excuse me, the potentiator of the mind, is going to act at some time through, I won't say through the veil, I don't think that is a very good way of stating it, but the potentiator of mind will act to create a condition, and I will use an example of the infant touching a hot object. The hot object we could take as random catalyst. The infant can either leave its hand on the hot object or rapidly remove it. My question is the potentiator of mind involved at all in this experience? And if so, how?
I am Ra. The potentiator of mind and of body are both involved in the questing of the infant for new experience. The mind-body-spirit complex, which is an infant, has one highly developed portion which may be best studied by viewing the significators of mind and body. You notice we do not include the spirit. That portion of a mind-body-spirit complex is not reliably developed in each and every mind-body-spirit complex. Thus, the infant's significant self, which is the harvest of biases of all previous incarnational experiences, offers to this infant biases with which to meet new experience.
However, the portion of the infant which may be articulated by the matrix of the mind is indeed unfed by experience and has the bias of reaching for this experience through free will, just as intelligent energy in the kinetic phase through free will creates the logos. This sub-logos then, or that portion of the mind-body-spirit complex, which may be articulated by consideration of the potentiators of mind and body through free will, chooses to make alterations in its experiential continuum. The results of these experiments in novelty are then recorded in the portion of the mind and body articulated by the matrices therein.
In the archetypes of the body, the process is reversed, the matrix of the body being even functioning or balanced. This equilibrium is moved one way or another by the interaction with the potentiator of the body, which may be called informed judgment or wisdom. The matrix then is the blessing, is indeed manifested perfection, which moves it away from balance, and the pattern repeats in reversal until we see in the significator of the body the entity which is completely suspended upside down, thus showering the manifested body energy with its treasure as it falls from the clothing of this archetypical figure.
We are those of Kuo, and we may indeed speak to this question. The self's relationship with that which you call the body, and the way in which its underlying holiness can be realized and manifested. The way that the body shows up or is understood within the illusion and arises out of the consciousness of the self who becomes a seeker. There is a great spectrum of understanding regarding the role, purpose, and function of this body, this yellow ray chemical complex with its interpenetrating layers of subtler and more subtle bodies within your illusion.
For those identified with the material realm only, the body can be described in physiological terms for its myriad specialized and interconnecting functions, in part or as an holistic functional unit. And the emotions, memories, experiences, wounds, and so forth of the self form from an electromagnetic and energetic standpoint, affect and modify the functioning of this body such that the body becomes a teacher to the self. But at the lower end of interpretation and understanding, the material end, the body has a function that seems without particular spiritual significance or implication, but is instead simply a result of physical evolution.
For the seeker who wishes to see beyond these outer and opaque images of the body at this level, a deepening relationship with self and with body is needed. A going within, a listening, a becoming sensitive to that which exists underneath the physical sensations of the body, that which is subtle, that which is of the upward spiraling light. Through this process of sensitization, which also may involve for the self a purification of the body, which also may involve ways of dieting and detoxification and other forms of respect shown for the body, the self can more clearly perceive the pathways of subtle energy that are always emanating and supporting the body behind and beyond the physical, or shall we say, chemical metabolism that keeps the body viable and useful upon the physical level.
In sensing and becoming aware of these subtle pathways, one has already done a great deal of work to shift their consciousness toward the metaphysical, recognizing the body as a multidimensional, multi-layered vehicle intertwined inextricably with consciousness and light itself. Sensing of the subtle pathways opens up much for the self in the way of working with the body, working with the mind, exploring their relationships and learning to balance these two fundamental aspects of the self to open and support the spiritual channel through the self with mind and body balanced and in cooperation and surrendered to the subtle wind-like movement of spirit.
Beautiful. From this deeper perspective, those biological survival-oriented aspects of the body, from respiration to digestion, excuse me, to elimination, to circulation, to perspiration, to homeostasis, and the various regulatory mechanisms and operation of the nervous systems and organs and so forth, can, on a very simple but profound level, be appreciated for their service to the mind-body-spirit complex.
They can be thanked and embraced even if they hold distortion or illness in one degree or another, and the relationship then changes from one perhaps of hiding or embarrassment or shame or demotion, or as your people might see it, disgusting or unclean, to that which is of love, that which is beautiful, that which, whatever the apparent distortion, is true. While much technique is involved, it is these fundamental orientations and energies that most help to unlock this relationship. For as we have said many times, one is not seeing clearly if not seeing with the eyes of love. And this begins and applies first and foremost with the self and with that which is most intimate to the self, that being the body.
As this perspective is more fully inhabited, the body may reveal more and more of its secrets, shall we say, to the conscious mind, giving the conscious mind more ability to work with and cooperate with that closest ally, which is the body. Those aspects formerly seen as physiological or demoted in some way that ascribe value and meaning to these functions may be uplifted, not by the self promoting these functions in the way, say, that an employer would promote an employee, but by coming into a relationship of truth with the body, by releasing the illusions and distortions of understanding and misapprehensions about the body, by recognizing what it is and what is really happening within the body and the self.
Though it appears as a promotion or upliftment from the former perspective, in truth, however, it is coming into the light from which the self had been keeping from the self. It is allowing to flow that which had been blocked of the love and the light of the one creator, which the self is, such that those energies that had formerly been denigrated or were even without the assigning of value, simply of a dense nature, are from this perspective of becoming transmuted into that which is fine and finer and subtler, until those rivers flowing through the self are allowed to continue their journey into that which is holy, and the true nature of the body is understood as a manifestation and an embodiment of that which is sacred.
Again, not that it has achieved some seal or label from without that says that it is sacred, but rather than that the self realizes who and what it is through the ally and athanor of the body. The mind, in combination with the body, then, sees obscuring the creator from its presence in this moment, interpenetrating every aspect of bone and sinew, cell, vessel, and strand of hair and molecule of this body. It ceases being a stranger estranged from the self and becomes part, indivisibly, of a unified whole and exudes then self-radiating light.
It becomes a sacred temple through which the self may worship and merge into the one again. Whatever its apparent distortions and limitations of learning and mortality, baked into the body or accumulated along the way, we may say. Whatever the shallow standards of culturally dependent physical beauty that your peoples distort their perception with, the body radiates true beauty. This is a long and disciplined field of study with much, much more material, shall we say, for contemplation. But at this time, we would wrap up our reply and transfer our contact to the one known as Trisha. We are those known to you as Quo. I just want to quickly add that all this comes from the one session, and it will be very useful to go over the session by yourselves again at any point, because to me it's all about the kind of silent awareness and working with the body.
Yeah, I really really liked this session. It was so beautiful. And talking about the hidden light, I'm looking at the card itself to the left, and the guy, the sage, is actually holding a little lantern that is hidden by whatever it is that he's wearing. So that was kind of like working together for me.
Yeah.
Your physical nature speaks to you with nothing more than dust and nothing less than the Creator. Meditation of the body is the first meditation, and each time the feet caress the earth, it is well to meditate briefly upon that brother, that sister, that mother and father, that child which shows off in all of its glory. This is from Quanta, which I don't think we have a lot of channeling from this entity.
Meditate, my friends, upon the complete unity of yourself and all that you see. Do this not once and not simply in present circumstances, but at all times and especially in difficult circumstances. For my friends, in so far as you love and feel at one with those things which are difficult for you, to that extent will those circumstances be alleviated. This is not due to any laws within our physical illusion, but is due to the law of love. For that body which is of spirit, which is interpenetrated with the physical body, is higher than your physical body, and those changes which you make by love upon your spiritual body will of necessity reflect themselves within the physical illusion.
There is the intelligence which came with the body that you enjoy in this incarnation. That intelligence is a choice-making intelligence. It gathers facts and it is geared to make decisions. It does that very well. However, it is not a kind of intelligence that is capable of dealing with concepts. Yet, it yearns for that which is beyond its intelligence. Beautiful.
It is not that the physical vehicle that you inhabit is unimportant. It should be honored, respected, and loved, for it has given its life so that you and your consciousness may walk the planet and learn the lesson that you came to learn. It is that body which hands reach out to do the service you would do for your fellow human being. It is that voice that sings the praises of the one infinite creator. Without your body, you would be unable to have incarnation.
At the same time, it is not well to identify entirely with the body that carries you about, for the body that is carelessly used and not justly appreciated will tend to wish to rule over the mind and spirit. It has strong instincts, not because of genetic changes, but because of the inherent second density heritage. It wishes instinctually to mate, to form a clan for family, to gather resources so that the clan may live, and to protect those resources, and if necessary, defend them to the death.
However, the physical body is anything but unimportant. The most common error made by those who are attempting to progress spiritually, in our humble opinion, is to attempt to move faster than the physical, the mental, and the emotional organism can move. To the spiritually awakened neophyte, there is a boundless enthusiasm for new techniques that open up the inner world that has now been glanced, and that now has become an object of desire. There is a tendency to reach and to push.
We would ask that you consider that you may cease the pushing and the reaching and be more effective because of a lighter, gentler, and more patient attitude towards the self that you are asking to move through these hoops. Because in a way, when an entity is beginning to alter his lifestyle to include work with the silence and the attempt to become aware in each passing moment of that moment in its infinity of possibilities, the body, the mind, and the emotions all object.
It was comfortable being spiritually asleep. Now the self is asking the body to sit and do nothing for periods of time in meditation. The body reacts, sometimes violently. There may be feelings of nausea, headaches, rushes of tingling in the body, or a feeling that the body is swelling. The body is restless and does not understand what it's being asked to do. It is not looking at anything. It is not doing anything. What's going on? So at the very beginning of a practice of meditation, one has to deal with the body itself. Eventually, the body will become comfortable sitting quietly in meditation for periods of time. Indeed, the body may eventually come to depend on the rest of those quiet moments and this communication with the divine.
Thus, there is indeed a great deal of connection between mind and body for the simple reason that your mind dwells within the confines of the physical body while it is awake, unless, of course, you are fasting for a long period, in which case it might not stay with the body at all.
It is a common occurrence with one who has not yet totally vanquished the old habits of the body. We will state that in such a way that you do not feel that because you eat spaghetti, you cannot channel. The habit of the body is to be active unless the body is asleep. It is most often active, even while watching one of your television shows. The body will be active and will attempt to feed itself or move about or have some sort of pastime. It is very seldom that the mind and the body are without activity. Such is your culture.
Thus, when you begin to meditate, and especially when you realize that it would be a good idea for you to have a good meditative state in order to be able to achieve a goal which you desire, that of vocal channeling, your mind and your body will conspire against you to reinstate the older habits of activity. In some cases, those who meditate for a while will become ill. They may get what is known to you as a headache or stomach ache, or they may see, as you do, images of varying kinds. It is a distraction which, if pursued, will eventually subside. Perhaps several months, and this experience will no longer be part of your repertoire because you will have become used to neither the physical nor mental activity. In other words, you will have learned to become passive.
When there is a physical greeting, such as the one known as D is experiencing, this principle of unity would lead one to embrace a situation where there is some dimming of the chakras and to ask not how to stop it from happening, but what the gift of such a dimming of the chakras might be. What gift does this inconvenience or this discomfort hold within its folds? It is well to ponder this and to unwrap that gift as much as one can in contemplation.
The awareness of the total being, then, begins the incarnation on bad terms with the physical body. The awareness that you are could not The awareness that you are could not make its arms and legs move or its tongue speak for such a long, long time, And indeed, the awareness never seems to completely embrace the physical vehicle. This distance, which is perceived between the self and the ills of the body, is an imbalanced perception, and we encourage each in the daily meditation and contemplation, which each may offer to the Creator, to do work which more and more creates that bond of unity between consciousness and the physical vehicle. Much of illness is due to the disrespect paid to the physical body as that which is not holy.
I am Haton. We can best answer you, my sister, by saying that your physical ailment is somewhat a riddle, as you are aware, and this riddle concerns the nature of your relationship to your physical vehicle, and it is a riddle which you are expending a good deal of effort to unravel. We would suggest that it might be revealing to you to meditate daily for a period of time upon the nature of your physical ailments and to ask yourself what the reason is for the recurring nature of this physical ailment. We cannot give you specific information, for this would be to do your work for you, and that we cannot do. We would suggest in your meditations to use a visualization process to allow healing energy to enter within your physical vehicle, and that you attempt to release your own healing energies as you also ponder the cause of your physical ailments.
That was beautiful. Just so many entities you brought in. You brought Latui, you brought Haton, you brought Quanta and Kuo. So thank you.
Yeah, it's there's actually a lot about the body, and I think because the whole third density experience is not possible without the body, and that's why they stress over and over again how important this work is, because this is basically, one of the very, very few places that we have this vehicle to work with. And that's why third density is so intense, I think.
Yeah. Another thing that was interesting for me was the thinking about the physical body as a second density creature that we are inhabiting. So it kind of creates a relationship between you and your body as you're not identifying 100% with your body, and you should really treat it with respect because it literally gave its life in order for you to walk this incarnation. So that was very powerful for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that becomes a lot clearer 2 cards from now in the experience of the body enchantress card. We can
Beautiful.
look forward to that.
Okay, great.
Cool. Let's go into the meditation now. So, okay. Right. So relax and shut your eyes. Bring yourself into the moment. Take a deep breath in. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Deep breath in again. Hold. Exhale. Hold. One more breath in. Hold. Exhale. Hold. And relax. Okay, now we relax from the toes. Feel the toes loosening, moving that relaxation energy upwards, up your feet, your ankles, calves and shins, relaxing your knees, thighs, moving up your torso, towards your shoulders, down your arms, all the way down to your wrists, hands, fingers, up your shoulders and neck, moving up your head, your face, ears, right up to the crown. Now we'll open our chakras, starting from the crown, the violet ray energy center. Open that up. Opening up your indigo ray energy center. Opening up your blue ray energy center. Opening up your green ray energy center. Opening up your yellow ray energy center. Opening up your orange ray energy center. Opening up your red ray energy center. And be with the silence. And bring your awareness to the force or the entity or the energy that's regulating your muscular skeletal system, the system that provides support and movement, including your bones, muscles, joints, ligaments. Become aware of the energy, this force or entity that's regulating this system. Now bring your awareness to the force or energy or entity that's regulating your nervous system, the system that's controlling your functions, including thought, movement, sensation, your brain, spinal cord, nerves. Bring your awareness to the force that's regulating this. Now become aware of who or what is regulating your cardiovascular system, the system that delivers oxygen and nutrients throughout the body and removes waste. This includes your heart and blood vessels. Who or what is regulating this system? Become aware of it. And become aware of who or what is regulating your respiratory system. The system including your lungs and airways, bringing oxygen to your body and various parts of your body and removing carbon dioxide. Who or what is regulating this system? Is this who or what the same as the other who or what's? And different aspects of the same or completely different? Become aware of this who or what. Now become aware of this who or what that is regulating your digestive system, the system including your mouth, stomach, intestines, that breaks down food, absorbs nutrients. Who or what is regulating this digestive system? And what does it feel like? Now become aware of who or what is regulating your endocrine system, the system that produces hormones that regulate functions such as growth and metabolism, including your glands. What does this who or what feel like? Become aware of it. Now become aware of who or what is regulating your lymphatic system, the system that helps fight infections, maintains your fluid balance, the system that regulates your lymph nodes, who or what. Become aware of this entity. Now become aware of who or what is regulating your reproductive system, parts of your body that enables it to produce offspring. Who or what is regulating it? Now visualize all these energies that are regulating your various systems in your body, projecting an image in front of you of a masculine figure that is in charge of the controls. What does he feel like to you? As he emerges out of your body and projects himself in front of you. Commune with it and offer it gratitude. What does he want you to know? And what do you want him to know? And sit with it.